Hey, what's up everybody? How are you all doing?
We're doing alright. We're preparing for our review of the IRS scam calls. Oh, is that what we're supposed to be doing? Oh geez. How are you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing okay. I know that you all are preparing for the reviews of the IRS scam calls, and then we have the breakup of DSP, dark-raxxer, and Panda Lee, and Facebook's 8-ball pool 8 app game. But I just received a breaking news update. Jon Koppenhaver, aka War Machine, has just been sentenced to life in prison, and in 36 years he'll be eligible for parole, which means that it will be reviewed, but there's no guarantee that he'll get the parole.
Wow, this came so suddenly.
Well, CC, at the end of the trial, they did agree to meet back in the courtroom in June for War Machine's sentencing, though John's lawyer did try to push it back some more.
Wait, what do you mean? He tried to push the sentencing back some more? It's already been 3 years. How many more years does it have to be before we finally put this thing to bed?
Good question, Big. War Machine's attorney tried to file some kind of motion of consciousness to delay the date of the sentencing, which was also weak. Apparently, he had 7 days to do that, but that didn't get done for some reason, because he was swamped with work. So the judge deemed that the sentencing was going to go down that day, and it did.
Hey, Ralph. What if War Machine's attorney did file his motion of consciousness in the 7 days like he was supposed to?
Then, CC, they would have waited much longer of a date to meet in that courtroom and give War Machine his sentence. I mean, War Machine's attorney, Mr. Letterman, really pleaded with the judge. He really did. And it even got to the point to where it almost turned into an argument. And it seemed to me that the judge was frustrated with Mr. Letterman. And that whole time when Mr. Letterman was pleading with the judge, I was just thinking, guy, it's over. You lost this case, and they're not going to prolong this any further.
I don't think that they should prolong it any further, either.
Then, surprisingly, Jon Koppenhaver, War Machine himself, finally spoke. After all this time of not saying anything in this whole trial, the man in question finally spoke. OMG.
Man in question? You have a way with words, Ralph.
The judge asked him did he want to say anything before she handed him the sentence, and that's when John made his speech, and it was something along the lines of, there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't think about what he's done. He's sorry for hurting his family and Christy Mack, the woman that he loves, and that he's given himself to God. So right there, he actually admitted that he's guilty of what they were accusing him of. Yeah, he tried to kill both Christy Mack and Corey Thomas. Then Corey Thomas, Christy Mack's mom, and then Christy Mack herself said what they had to say. Then the judge went through each charge.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's usually a long process for this kind of stuff. And for every charge, the judge assigned a sentence. She went through all 29 of them. So, bottom line is, War Machine was sentenced to life in prison, with the eligibility of parole in 36 years.
Wow, is kind of surprising, being that he wasn't convicted on all of the 34 charges that was he accused of, and there was a mistrial on the 2 counts of attempted murder. But then again, War Machine just admitted that he did do it, after pleading not guilty to all charges. So, in his speech, he kind of shot himself in the foot.
What a moron. War Machine said in his speech that he feels bad for what he did to Christy and Corey. So, he needs to pay for what he did. And that is with his life. And Ralph, I was saying it all along. The reason why War Machine's lawyers didn't put up a good defense, the reason why they did such a horrible job on the trial, is because War Machine is guilty. And they know that. Plain and simple. Therefore, there was nothing that they could have said to justify his actions.
And the defense team kept trying to push this back.
Well, how much longer are they supposed to push back the sentencing? The defense had 3 years. I think that's long enough.
And Mr. Letterman said that he couldn't file his motion of consciousness on time because he was swamped with work. Well, we're swamped with stuff, too. I mean, we got other subjects and topics that we have to review, too.
And the female, during the War Machine trial, had to do 2 trials back to back. And this Letterman guy had 7 days to file his thing. Why couldn't he get it done then?
He had his vacation. Remember at the end of the trial when they were talking about when to meet back in the courtroom for sentencing? Letterman said that he had vacation, and that prevented him from filing a piece of paper. Go figure.
Yeah, go figure. Indeed.
We may be swamped with work, but we push through it and get it done. That's the ninja way. My ninja way.
I was waiting for that. So it looks like this has finally been wrapped up for now. We just have to wait and see what happens in 36 years when War Machine goes before the parole board.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't think that War Machine deserves parole after all of this. This is just too horrible of a crime. He brutally attacked Christy Mack and her friend, Corey Thomas, and tried to kill them. Then he fled the scene. And when he got caught, he lied and said that he was innocent, when he was guilty of the whole thing. And he has been in prison before. This thing. He's too dangerous.
Yeah, we need to throw the book at this psycho and lock him away for good.
None of us will feel safe if War Machine is granted parole. Because of his history, I think that he'll do it again if they let him out.
I agree with the judge's sentence, and I don't think that Jon Koppenhaver should get parole. Even after 36 years, Christy Mack won't feel safe. None of us will.
So basically, you're all saying that War Machine needs to be in prison forever, which is what the DA's office was pushing for, and this is something that War Machine brought upon himself. It wasn't so much his attorneys putting up a weak defense and War Machine trying to dodge and or weasel out of this. It was Jon Koppenhaver trying to kill both Christy and Corey. But now, Christy Mack doesn't have to worry about this anymore. And that's what's important. Alright, Jaguars. We're ending this episode of the Reboot right here.
Wait, this was an episode of the Reboot.
Yep, but now it's over. And Jaguars, and any new people watching this, it would really help us out a lot if you can check the description section / info bar of this video. There you will find the links to the other web series and YouTube channels of Ralph J Images. If you can subscribe to those channels, that will be extremely helpful to us.
Yeah, if you haven't done so,
Subscribe already.
Peace out. Till later.